just a little bit because you kind of touched on it. You talked about the sexy landing pages and not just using Indeed and crossing your fingers. I love that
Yeah.
analogy because we, I think every contractor can relate to that. They've all been there at some point in time. And then you reference the fact that a lot of, if not the vast majority of breakthroughs, you know, contractors, they've already fixed this problem. So not only am I competing against these other trades out there, the tech space and these different things, but I also have to be able to compete against the best contractors in my space to be able to get that
Mm.
best talent. So how do I get in front of that talent? Let's start there, and then once I've gotten in front of them, I also want to talk about like what some of that messaging looks like. Because again, $22 an hour with dirt on your face probably isn't going to be the. It's an image of a guy, dirt on his face, sweat pouring down, just looks like he, went to war, and it's like, yeah, we're paying $22 an hour, come work for us. Like that's probably not the right messaging either. So let's break those two things down. How do I get in front of the right people, and then what messaging once I've gotten there do I need to focus on?
I'm just jotting this down because I have a tendency to go on tangents. So it's how do I get in front of, and then what kind of messaging? So on the how do I get in front of piece, a lot of people, when it comes to recruiting, I find are looking for this magic pill, this silver bullet. There's like this idea that there's one thing that they're not doing, that if they did it, it would solve the problem. Or like there's this one website that they haven't heard of where all the good applicants are applying. And it's like, no, man, like it isn't one thing. It's going to be 12 little things that you do in unison that start to move the needle, build some momentum, and fix this. So I don't have like, oh, go do this and the problem solved. I can give you a smattering, a collection of little tactics that do seem to work. So okay, I'll start here. Like a really obvious one would be to implement an incentivized employee referral system. So a good hire is worth probably a lot more than you realize it is. $1,000 minimum could go up to $3,000 or to $5,000 for like a good hire that you're looking for. And so what a lot of our members have done, have actually set up a structure, and you can rejig this in a million different ways. It depends on the size of your business, the budget you have to work with, the roles you're looking for. But essentially, I'll give you a super basic one, is you create a one-page document that describes the system. And it's essentially, hey, if you as our employee bring us one of your friends, your colleagues, your family members, whatever, and they get hired and they make it through their 3-month probationary period, that, once they hit that day in the calendar, we will give you, the person who referred them, $1,000 or $1,500. Some people do it in a recurring model. So it's like for every month the person works, they get a little kickback. Again, you can get creative with how you do this, but just telling your staff, hey, we're really busy. If you know anyone that wants work, let us know. That is not a system. Creating an actual structure, incentivizing it properly, and then reinforcing it, bringing it up in meetings and reminders throughout the years, the way to do it. And what you'll see is 6 months later, you will have this little recruiting force working for you. Another simple tactic would be like a Facebook Messenger strategy. Once you have that referral system in place, you get your team together, you create a templated message, you have them send that out to 50 Facebook contacts in a direct message, and all of a sudden you have these people popping up out of the woodworks that you never would have thought of. They're saying, hey, you know what, that actually sounds like a cool job. Can I check it out? A lot of people just post one ad on one site. I would post one ad on 3 different sites. I would make it a sponsored ad. I would throw money at the problem whenever possible. It's like casting a wide net is really important. For people that want to take this to another level, like building a join the team page right on your website. So not just using job boards, but actually like owning the real estate on your website, where you're advertising for open positions that are available, with clear job descriptions that sound good, right? That sell the role, that sell the business, not just this morbid description of demands. Like which is how 90% of job postings are written. If you don't believe me, go check. But actually like selling your role. And then if you really want to do a good job, hire a videographer, do a day of shooting where you're talking about the business and the vision that you have. Your key employees are talking about why they love to work there. You get some good B-roll of people on sites actually fulfilling tasks. That sits at the top of this join the team page. And now you have this, your own little recruiting hub on your own site. And then you can get at all sorts of cool stuff, paid ads, advertising through social media, and all of that pushes back to your recruiting page. So I could ramble on for probably another 2 hours, like little things that you can do. There's a lot. My point is like, try something. If it works, double down. If it doesn't, go try something else. But this idea of just like hoping and praying is certainly not working anymore, and I don't think it ever will again. So if you're just gonna kind of sit at that level of like recruiting effort and enthusiasm, I don't mean to be doom and gloom, but your days are numbered.